Hello, and thank you for joining FirstHome product training from Oregon Housing and Community Services. We're happy that you're here and excited to tell you all about this great product. As you know, the OHCS mission is to help low to moderate income individuals become homeowners. We believe that stable and affordable housing creates better communities. And our goal is to expand home ownership opportunities for all Oregonians, especially those in marginalized communities. We'd like you to know that these guidelines that we're going to discuss today have been written by Oregon Housing and Community Services. Please do check your company guidelines for any overlays. Our Flex Lending team is led by Scott Shaw, the Assistant Director of Homeownership Lending. I'm Susan Roman, and I am part of the team that consists of Jill Boyles, Angelica Jimenez, and Christina Kluver. You can see that we've listed our website here for the team and a way to contact us with that email address. Also, lender portal assistance. If you need help with reservations, locks, logins, please contact Oregon Flex Lending Help at hilltopsecurities.com. We will be sending this slide deck out to you, so you'll have all of the information at your fingertips. Don't feel like you have to write it all down right now. Our program administrator and compliance agent is Hilltop Securities. Our contacts there are Sharon Gonzalez and Nick Sendejas. Our master servicer is Idaho Housing and Finance Association. You'll find contact information for both of those organizations on this slide deck. We're very pleased to let you know that the Flex Lending Program is the umbrella for two great loan products. One is Next Step, and there's a separate training for that. FirstHome is the loan product that we're going to speak about today. It is a purchase-only 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. There is no minimum borrow investment required with this particular loan product. First-time home buyers are required unless they're veterans using an exemption or purchasing a home in a targeted area. Maximum income is based on household size and county. The maximum purchase price is based on county limits. You can use either conventional or government loans, and you can see the max LTV and CLTVs here. The minimum credit score is 620. However, manual underwrites on government loans only can be done with a minimum of 640 for a credit score. Borrowers may not own other property at closing. However, non-occupying co-borrowers and co-signers are not allowed on this particular loan either. Properties that are eligible must be located in Oregon. They can be single-family residences, can be manufactured homes, whether single or multi-wide. Condos, townhomes, and planned unit developments are all eligible. Down payment assistance can be combined with other down payment assistance programs. Borrowers can receive 4 or 5% of the first mortgage loan amount as down payment assistance. And the standard, as I mentioned, is 4%. Focused demographics, which your borrower must qualify for, can be 5%. If the borrower's AMI is 80% or less, the DPA is due on sale. If it's greater than 80%, the DPA is repayable. With this particular loan product, the maximum DTI is 50%. And, important to note, recapture tax applies. You'll see a chart here that goes over targeted areas and non-targeted areas. Targeted areas are designated by HUD, and they are seeking economic investment. There is no first-time homebuyer requirement for targeted areas, and 1 year of tax returns is all that's required. However, every other area is a non-targeted area, and First-time home buyers are required unless it's a veteran using their exemption. With this one, 3 years worth of tax returns are necessary because it will be confirmed that it is a first-time home buyer who is requesting this program. Best practices are to go to this website and enter the property address, locate the appropriate county and the census tract in order to determine whether your property is located in a targeted or non-targeted area. You'll want to make sure that your borrower meets the program household income limits and use the appropriate income limit chart. We'll talk about that in a minute. Identify the maximum purchase price by the property location. And if the borrower is utilizing OHCS down payment assistance, use the DPA income limits chart to determine DPA for the second mortgage loan parameters. You might want to know that targeted and non-targeted areas are updated once a year, and it's usually in June. Here's that income limit chart that I talked about. They are based, again, on whether the area is targeted or non-targeted, and then broken out again within the property area by household size. The income calculation is done using household income. It is different than qualifying income, and household income limits are also updated annually, usually in June. All household members living in the house that are age 18 years and older, that are not in school and providing income to the household, folks who are on title to the property, all spouses, borrowing or non-borrowing, that income will be considered. You're going to want to see the maximum income limits per county and household size from the previous slide. So go back and spend some time on that. Don't forget, you're going to have a copy of this slide deck, and all of this information will be right at your fingertips. Income will have to be documented for everyone in the household, and all the sources of their income have to be documented. Again, 3 years of federal tax returns and appropriate schedules, but don't send the state taxes, are required. And if your borrower is self-employed, complete tax returns and a profit and loss statement will be necessary. We do want to say that OHCS will complete a compliance review of the income and the borrower's reserves, and we do ask that we can ask for additional income documentation that may be needed. So let me say that a different way. We look at the income, and if we have questions, we will ask you for more information. Not always, but sometimes. Here's purchase price limits for the FirstHome product. You can find these on our website, and the link is right here for you. For instance, if you are in Clackamas County and you have a non-targeted area, the purchase price limit is $696,949. However, in Clackamas County, there are no targeted areas, so it's not applicable. You can see that if the county is not specifically listed here, you'll just use the all other counties figures. Here's some examples of typical household income. It is not an all-inclusive list, but we think that you're pretty much familiar with everything here. I might point out to you that foster care has the first $480 deducted. So if the foster care income was $1,480, you'd have $1,000 left over. Down payment assistance, as we talked about, is available to all first home buyers if they need it. Standard DPA is 4%. Focused demographics is 5%. And borrowers with an AMI of less than 80% will have a silent second mortgage that is due and payable either at sale, transfer, refinance if the house becomes a rental, or the homeowner fails to occupy it as a primary residence, and also in the unfortunate event of a default. Borrowers with an AMI of over 80% will have a repayable second for a term of either 10, 20, or 30 years. We just went over the list of repayment events for the silent down payment assistance second mortgage. So I won't spend any more time on that, but it is here for you to see. The focus demographic, 5% eligibility, is, I think the best way to approach it is there's 4 different criteria. And as long as 2 of these are met, then your borrower can be eligible for that 5%. So these are household size of 4 people or more, household member that has a disability, they have a front end ratio of 28% or higher, and the sole head of household with 1 or more eligible dependents being either younger than 18 years of age, aged 62 or older, or a household member with a disability. Note, household must include only 1 adult who is not an eligible independent. This form can be found on the OHCS website, and it will help you greatly when determining whether or not your borrower qualifies for 5% DPA. Recapture tax does apply to first home, and this is a federal law that applies to borrowers who buy their houses using single-family mortgage bond programs. The recapture tax, as I mentioned, does apply to first home, and you will want to note that it doesn't apply after year 9 of living in the home. It is based on the scale of how long the homeowner lives there. Form 25, SFMP Form 25, is the notice to borrowers regarding recapture. It updates annually, and the most current version is to be signed by the borrower at closing. We always encourage borrowers to work with a qualified tax professional to help them understand recapture tax and how it may or may not apply to them. Mortgage insurance can be borrower paid with monthly annual renewal, split premium, single premium, or financed mortgage insurance is allowed. However, at this time, lender paid MI is not available. Homebuyer education is a very important component to the first home loan product. In-person homebuyer education is available through various OHCS homeownership centers. It's absolutely preferred that your borrowers attend in person. We think it's a valuable way for them to gain more information about the home buying process and what homeownership looks like once they have the house, and they need to have resources should unfortunate or unseen events occur. Sometimes being present isn't possible due to scheduling conflicts. So online solutions are available either through Framework or Finally Home. OHCS has a much easier locking process now with compliance and delivery functions. Locking can be done in the lender portal. First Home qualifying first-time homebuyer program replaces the legacy Oregon bond program, but it's without the down payment assistance. And we'll just note here that Next Step TBA-based lending program was formerly known as Flex Lending. We like to point that out. It could be kind of confusing. You use your same Oregon bond login, but it's only for legacy bond users. The lender portal, which does require your Next Step training and lender portal training, will get you access to the lender portal if you don't already have it. Points and fees are customary and reasonable are absolutely allowed. Lenders are no longer limited to 1.75% and $1,000. And lender compensation on all flex lending products is 125 basis points in servicing release premium and lender compensation. OHCS purchases the servicing and the loan is serviced by Idaho Housing Finance Authority. Lenders no longer are charged 50 basis points and no longer have to place servicing with an outside servicer. So we think that you'll find that a really great feature. Our rates are posted daily, and you'll see down below that you can sign up to have rates delivered to your inbox every day. The hours that are available to lock a loan are from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There are no loan level pricing adjustments. Borrowers with an AMI of 80% or less will receive the second mortgage that is due on sale, and those with 80 or above will receive a second mortgage with an interest rate 1% higher than the first mortgage. So that's a pretty easy thing to remember. All loans have to be delivered and purchased by IHFA within 60 days of the rate lock. Hilltop Compliance Review does take a look at every single FirstHome loan. You'll see a list here of different documents that must be included. There are some that are different than the Next Step Compliance Review. If you use that program, you'll notice that there are some forms that need to be included that aren't included on the other Next Step. After Hilltop does their compliance review, OHCS will do one. And the things that we're looking for that have to be uploaded to the lender portal under the OHCS income compliance file is the loan application, the loan transmittal, the calculation worksheet that the underwriter used for household income, the income verification documents, and don't forget, we may ask for additional information if we need it. Household income includes all members living in the household that are 18 and over, not in school, and are providing income to the household. We have a comparison chart here that gives you a quick and easy way to look at the difference between FirstHome and Next Step. I won't go into this right now, but we think that it's pretty easy to use, and you'll see there's only a couple of differences. Here's a list of the websites that we've talked about today. There's a lenders page at OHCS. There's a FirstHome page at OHCS. Next Step is available, same website. Home buyers are welcome to visit the OHCS website as well and click on the home buyers page for all kinds of great information about home buying. And the home counseling page is where you will find OHCS approved home ownership centers. Once again, if you need help with program questions, reach out to us directly. Our team will answer your emails as fast as we can. If you need help with your lender portal, locking loans, changes to a file, if you're having trouble logging in, you're going to reach out to the Oregon Flex Lending Help at Hilltop Securities. Again, our goal is to help Oregonians achieve homeownership, and we are so glad that you have joined us on this journey to provide stable income, foster stronger communities, and contribute to building generational wealth. We think that these efforts help create a more equitable and prosperous future for all. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're absolutely thrilled that you are our partners, and we look forward to working with you. If you would please take a moment to sign up for our program announcements on the distribution list, there's the email link for you. And also, please do, as I mentioned, sign up for daily rates at cloud.herd.hilltopsecurities.com/Oregon. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you soon.